I always thought, well, I'm so cool. My daughter will never stop wanting me to be around. No, I officially get the eye rolls, or the, like, I walk into the room like her with her friends and she's like,
hey there, it's Kristen, and today we're chatting with Selenis Leyva and Michael Weaver, who star in Disney Plus's Diary of a Future President. We're getting into season 2, tackling family, acceptance, and more. One of the biggest takeaways for this season for me was just like Elena and Bobby realizing that their mom isn't just a mom. She's like a person, you know, who like can make mistakes, who isn't always perfect. So I'd love to hear, Selenis, how did you take that on?
Well, I can relate to it as a mom in real life. I know that, you know, there came a time where my daughter stopped looking at me like I was the universe and was like, suddenly like, what's wrong with you? And you're flawed. And, you know, so the judgments started piling on. I think that this is just very honest to the relationships that parents have with their children, especially these early teen years where the dynamics do change. And I remember feeling exactly what Gabby was feeling with Elena. Like, Elena's growing. Her interests are pulling her away from her. There's a time there that it becomes a little funky, and you don't necessarily think your parents are so cool, and you don't necessarily want to be around them. And it's part of growing up. And I always thought, well, I'm so cool. My daughter will never stop wanting me to be around. No, I officially get the eye rolls, or the, like, I walk into the room like her with her friends and she's like, and you're here why? You know what I mean? Like, I get those moments. So I understood Gabby wholeheartedly, but I also know that it comes back, and it always comes back. And there's always these moments of, no matter how much your kids say they don't need you or want you around, they really do. That's the good part. They secretly always.
It's the money. They're just there for the money.
And, you know, and with Sam, you know, he has this great journey of becoming a father figure in his family. You know, you could really just see how much he loves these kids and loves this family. And I thought that was so beautiful to see. Can you talk about that?
I think for the character, we don't see too much of his backstory, but there is some, and you notice that he didn't have a big family, and certainly hadn't had a family before, or kids, or, you know, this kind of thing. So I think, I know that Sam has been welcomed into this massive family, right? They're not just, and you saw that, was that season 1 where I was naming all the relatives that came over? Remember when the extended family comes over and it's overwhelming and it's like, oh my God, Tia, oh, this is crazy. But I think that's very refreshing for this guy, you know, to have this sense of place and a community that now he's part of, and that a support system. And so I love that he's approached that with sort of the same amount of exuberance that they have shown him. You know what I mean? Often people come into new situations and they kind of like, oh, geez, what am I going to do here? This is not Sam Faber, just straight in and all, you know, and it's reciprocated by the Kenyero Reed. So I think, you know, it's been really fun. You know, it's a great character to play, and having that kind of an arc as opposed to the sort of cynical, I don't know about your uncle. You know what I mean? That to me is boring. I'd rather just jump in with both feet.
Such a joy watching you guys together. I was just so invested in this family. And I got to ask Selenis, one of my other favorite moments this season was just Gabby teaching Bobby to drive and him coming out to her. I was like, this is so beautiful. What was that scene like for you?
That scene was one of those moments, one of my favorites for sure for season 2. And I remember that day we shot it, and there was not a dry, like everyone had a moment and had some kind of reaction. I had grips coming to me later on going, that was so beautiful. Like everyone was like in tears and so affected by it. And I thought, wow, that's the honesty in the storytelling, right? When you're honest, and the way it was written was so beautiful. It wasn't a huge, big moment of, you know, no, it was just a simple moment where this young man confides in his mother his truth, and the way she takes it in and accepts it, it was just so beautiful and so important, I think, especially for all parents, to just, you know, have that ability to love your child unconditionally, you know, and accept them and in their full honest truth. Even if it's not what you envisioned, even if it's not what you planned for them. So I think that moment was absolutely my favorite. And I know it's going to touch a lot of lives for sure. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out, because I know the importance of it. I know the importance of that kind of storytelling. I have a transgender sister, and I remember when we wrote our book, and put it out there, the outpouring of love and people thanking us for sharing our story and how it helped them understand someone in their lives. These moments like this, if they're made with honesty, are life-changing and life-saving at times as well.
If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my interviews right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.